One would hope up is the only direction. Not only have they lost 3 in a row, but they've been outscored by a margin of 22-1. If this isn't rock bottom, what is? Chris Archer has been much better of late. He'll have to be much better than much better to slow down these rampaging Nationals.
He struck him out. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming.
Last night the Pirates got drubbed by the Dubs, but tonight they look to even the series as they'll play at their park, PNC Park, the host of Game 2 of this series tonight. And Chris Archer will get the ball for the Buccos. He's been good against these Nationals. We'll see if that can continue here tonight. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Steve Blass with you. Dan Potash coming up in just a little bit. We told you about Chris Archer. He's been good lately. He's been good against the Nationals. Maybe that's the recipe for success tonight.
Yeah, and it's been a tough go for Chris, to be quite honest, during the course of the season. But there are a couple of bright spots. As you say, he's been quite good against Washington in 3 career starts, and also quite good recently. The wins haven't come for him, but you see little things that have been encouraging. The control has been good. The strikeouts are up, so we hope that he can build on that and move on and get that W that he's been looking for so long.
And he faced Washington back in April, and this was probably one of his best outings of the year.
Yeah, using the curveball as well as that really signature fastball, but the curveball is really kind of a key because it sets everything up, and he can get strikes and swings and misses with the curve as well as the fastball. So hopefully he can build on the last 3 starts.
And Steven Strasburg, his mount opponent tonight from day one, really. He's been a marquee pitcher.
Well, yeah, he's #1 choice of everybody when he was signed. And this is just a beginning of all the stats that he is involved with the leaders in the National League. So he's a quality guy. He's a 15-game winner. So what do you do to beat a guy like Steven Strasburg? Well, you outpitch him. So it's going to be up to Archer. I think tonight's game is all about Chris Archer getting out of the chute, giving the Pirates a good start.
And the Bucs bats have been cold lately, but Brian Reynolds continues his hitting, and yesterday with an extra base hit.
Yeah, he's still among the league leaders now. He was leading for a little while, but overall, you got to consider this young man is a rookie. He has had a tremendous season, not just with the bat. He's a baseball player, and he's proven that in his early part of his major league career. He is going to be good. He already is good.
And as a rookie, as we look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders, trying to be the first rookie to ever win a batting title, right now 4th entering play tonight. Chris Archer looks to get the Pirates back on target against walloping Washington. Pirates, let's go. Beautiful night here in Pittsburgh for Game 2 of this series, the Pirates and the Nationals. Guys from D.C. in town, and the homestanders Josh Bell and company. Put yesterday behind them and trying to see what they can do tonight.
Yeah, that's the thing about baseball, Joe. It's a brand new night. We don't have to worry about the standings. The record right now, we got a baseball game that's going to start dead even. And you go from there. Last night wasn't good. The Pirates gave up 4 runs in the first, 4 in the second, and that's a bad recipe right there to get down that quick that much. So again, it's the next day's starting pitcher. Tonight's Chris Archer, who has been better lately, as you mentioned, and we hope he can get that win he's been looking for. It's been a while.
Yeah, looking forward to that pitching matchup tonight. The Nationals come in one of the hottest stretches of any team in a long time. Not just the Pirates, but the Brewers and the Reds too, falling victim to the Nats' hot offense, averaging 7 runs plus this month, 12 runs a game plus over their last 5. That's a pretty good stretch. So Archer will be tasked with trying to cool the Nats' bats tonight. And for Dave Martinez, he pens in the Hyundai lineup tonight with Trey Turner atop the order. Adam Eaton is homered in 3 straight. Anthony Rendon, the all-star, hits 3rd. Juan Soto at 20 years old cleans up. Asdrubal Cabrera, and then Matt Adams, big as last couple of games for him. Kurt Suzuki's the starter behind the plate tonight with Robles and then Strasburg for Washington.
Yep, they'll be cranking it up against Chris Archer, his 4th career start. His numbers brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. And that's the overall numbers. Last time out for Chris, 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, just 2 walks. You love that ratio. He is that kind of a power type of a pitcher. And good work in previous outings against Washington. So he might be just the man we need. Kind of interesting. He made his major league debut against Strasburg back, in 2012. Gave up just one earned run, going up a guy like Steven Strasburg. So Chris Archer knows the drill. He knows how important this could be to be the stopper of this ongoing misery that the Pirates are involved in right now, and it involves him.
A big-time strikeout pitcher, but he'll still use his defense, the Honda defense. Jose Osuna returns from his 5-game suspension with Marte and Reynolds joining him out there. Moran, Newman, Frazier, and Bell around the horn. And Jacob Stallings back behind the plate for Archer, who threw to Elias Diaz his last start. Stallings had a migraine and was a late scratch in that start. But this battery has been a go of it now for quite a while.
Kind of a sultry summer night in Pittsburgh, but a little breeze moving around to make it very comfortable.
Little pop up to start. And Frazier will have the first out very quickly.
Now take a look at our Rivers Casino tips to win Archer versus Arena Ball. These guys are hitting the ball over the fence at a very alarming rate, so he's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. We want to get even with Steven Strasburg. He has pretty much had his way against the Pirates since he broke in as a rookie and struck out 14 in 7 innings. We owe him one.
Yeah, he's always pitched well against the Pirates, really against everybody, but the Pirates have been one of the better teams, his opponents. And you mentioned the home runs. The Nationals in 3 games have hit 16 home runs. Eaton, not really known to hit home runs. He's homered in 3 straight, and Dave Martinez has got to like that, the second-year manager of the Nats.
And they basically come out of the woodwork. They were way down. They were buried early on, and then they've been playing very, very good baseball. A lot of it is on the wings of the long ball. But with a rotation that has Scherzer and Strasburg at the top, I mean, that's a foundation from which you can work.
Usually a team is struggling to find an ace. And when you've got 2 to start, that's quite a pair. Flying right over the shift. And Eaton is aboard.
Good piece of hitting there, just to try to push the ball, hitting it where it's pitched, not trying to pull it. One thing you have to be aware of, we talk about the home runs. This team can run. They've got a lot of stolen bases, so if they're having a night where they're not hitting it over the fence, they can grab 90 feet every once in a while.
Nationals lead the National League in stolen bases.
Eaton is 13 out of 16 in terms of steals and being caught.
Stallings has been very good. He's thrown out half, 5 out of 10. Trying to steal, but obviously
that's about 50%, isn't it?
not even about.
Yeah, what is
I like 5 out of 10. That's way better than 6 out of 13 or something. Then you really have to.
Yeah, right. Stop the thing. And what do we consider the major league average? Around 30%?
Even lower than that now, yeah. 28 or so, 26, depending on the year.
Not as many people stealing either, it doesn't seem like.
Steals way down through the years. Pitchers are usually a lot quicker to home plate. Don't see those big pronounced windups, especially with men on base. Liner over Frazier. Marte's going to throw on to third. And Eaton is in there. A couple of line drive singles. And now Nationals on the corners with 1 out.
Marte gives it a shot to third base, but kind of ill-advised. I don't think there was any chance of getting anybody. And when you throw from there with that kind of height, sometimes you take the risk of having that guy run into second base.
Yeah,
not the case there.
Luckily, the Rendon didn't. He's still at first base. So the double play stays in order. Not that that's anything easy to accomplish with Juan Soto at the plate.
Gifted young left fielder for the Nats.
My goodness, 20 years old. He won't turn 21 till the offseason. And he has been, if the Nationals are red hot, he is white hot. Whatever the hottest of the hot. Blue Flames. 11 RBIs, 7 homers, hitting over 400 in his last 9 games.
Oh, we need a ground ball sharply hit at somebody. He's grounded into 8 double plays.
Didn't make it out yesterday.
Look at Soto signals down to third base. He wants an appeal, and they ring him up. He was pointing down.
Honest Abe. Nope. Caught red-handed. See, I told you. I swung.
Why is he pointing down?
I don't know. We've been seeing a little bit of that in recent years. It doesn't do the hitter any good.
No.
Well, you know, Judge, I know you found me not guilty, but Rendon was stuck. But they didn't want to risk Eaton coming home, I suppose.
Either stuck or it was a set play where he's going to try to get in a rundown.
Ah.
But
Yeah, that sounds right. Why would he have stopped right there, right? Yeah, you're right. No, they didn't buy it.
Last time somebody tried that on us, it was a disaster with Diaz.
Now the rundown ended up in obstruction. Goes as a stolen base for Rendon, his third, and now 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, we need one of the patented Archer strikeouts right here. He's got him to a 2-2 count.
That has been his specialty.
10 and 5 innings last time out.
Boy, it's nice to have that in your back pocket when you want it. And this is a great test because you're not going to face a team offensively any hotter than the Nationals, the way that they've been. Not just last night. I mean, this has been going now for a while. Against the Reds and the Brewers as well. And there's that strikeout.
As ordered. You know, every once in a while we talk about pitching to contact. I hate pitching to contact. If they don't hit it, you can't get hurt.
And perfectly placed up and in, and still in the zone. Now, for a power hitter like that, only the very special ones can get their hands in and do something with that. He tried to. 95, that's awfully tough.
Well, if you leave these runners here right now, it's not a major thing in this baseball game, but I think it is a major thing in this baseball game to put up a 0 in the first inning.
Only Oliver Perez with a greater strikeout per 9 rate for a Pirates starting pitcher than what Chris Archer has done this year. How about have another right here?
I'll tell you, there's no extra weight on that body. He is in some kind of physical condition. Try to throw it through the wall on that one.
Cabrera with 5 RBIs yesterday. He's been filling in for Brian Dozier on the paternity list, celebrating the birth of the couple's first child. So Cabrera got the start yesterday and again here tonight.
Well, Adam Eden at third base can go halfway to home plate with Colin Moran playing kind of a deep shortstop, or third baseman.
Good stop.
And that's why I point that out too, because any borderline pitch that gets away from Stallings, if you're halfway on that lead to begin with, you don't have far to go. Now this breaking ball is kept out in front, and that's all you have to do. You've got nowhere to go if the ball's in front of you. Well, you can take another look at Adam Eaton. Yeah, he's got all the comfort in the world.
With a secondary lead, 35 feet down the line or so. But the ball is never in play. It doesn't matter. That's what Archer's trying to do right here. Upstairs and swinging on through it. That's that all or nothing
neighborhood right up there. If you don't get to it, you strike out. If you get to it, you hit the ball over the fence a lot of times.
Archer says his body's been feeling as good as it has really the last couple of starts before the All-Star break, he said, and post-break. And he has continued to trend upward. You can see that arm's fresh. Throwing it by guys. And using a little bit of that too.
Yeah, a little cutter down and in. Beautifully done. All right, there's the zero we're looking for in the top of the first.
Now the Bucks come to bat. Against Strasburg, Bell, Moran, and Osuna, Newman, Stallings, and Archer round out the Pirates' 9 tonight.
Joe, I didn't miss the crew reference. Well done. I'm with you here.
Okay.
Right from the beginning. Steven Strasburg, 15-5. He's ranked among the National League leaders up and down the charts.
Hit well, but 1 out. Don't blink. Trey Turner is the shortstop for the Nationals tonight with Asdrubal Cabrera, his double play partner, Rendon and Adams on the corners. Soto, Robles, and Eaton. They cover some ground out there. Good arms. Rich Suzuki does the catching.
Veteran back with the Nationals after a couple of years with the Atlanta Braves behind the plate. By the way, just for balance with Strasburg, his last 3 starts, he's 1-2. He's worked 17 innings and he's given up 16 earned runs. One of those a 9-run program against the Diamondbacks. So his last 3 starts have not been dazzling.
That's something we have not pointed out. That the Nationals, now last night excluded, but the Nationals have not necessarily been pitching very well. And you look at,
they don't have to be.
Yeah, the combination of what Archer's done the last 3 starts and what Strasburg's done. If you like trends, maybe that will foretell a Pirate win tonight.
All right with the matchup. Yeah, but when your team is scoring, an average of 12 runs a game, you don't have to really be sharp.
Gives you some margin of error.
Get yourself 5 innings.
That's something that Joe Ross could not do last night after getting hit with a line drive in his shin, and he should make his next start. What the Nationals were saying today. That's a good thing. He left in that 4th inning. Reynolds at 326. We showed you 4th best, but you can move up in a hurry. It's a tightly packed race for the batting average lead in the National League.
I would love to see him win the batting title, but I am very, very delighted with what he has done as a young major leaguer, regardless of how it plays out at the end.
That's the 2nd out. Oh, I got to second that. The way that he's played very professionally
and consistently.
Yes. His average hasn't been below 324 at the end of the day since Memorial Day.
Yeah. That's the word, Joe. Every professional athlete wants to talk about the word consistency. And how do you get it? Well, I don't know, but I want to have it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do well as consistently as possible, and it's tough to do at this level in any of the major sports.
He hasn't gone 3 straight starts in a hitless fashion yet this year. He's gone 4 times, 2 straight starts, but never 3 in a row. It's pretty consistent. I mean, there are guys that are very consistent, but if they're consistently poor, they go back to the minor leagues.
Well, yeah. Go find a real job.
It's hard to be consistently good. Everyone's capable. But how much do they string it all together?
Yep.
I think that was one of the things with Marte, of course, through the years. Always saw that there. Can you do that most every night? Doesn't necessarily mean performance every night. You're not always going to get a hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, but just the consistency in at bats, play, some would say focus, started to come around last year. This year, I think certainly, I want to say since May on, or maybe a little sooner than that, but most of this year, if not the whole year. At age 30, Starling Marte is that guy now that everyone's hoped for. He's putting up a very quietly a very good season. A very good 3rd hitter.
Yep. Strasburg now 31 years old. I remember his debut. It was yesterday. coming back from probably some golf event, and listening to.
It was a day of the week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it was Greg that was interviewing Spin Williams, our old pitching coach, and talking about the debut of Steven Strasburg, and that the Nationals had planned it and structured it time-wise to have him go against the Pirates. And Spin had a very good talk as he records his first strikeout about his great debut.
And Spin Williams still in player development for the Nats. And Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, out there with Clint Hurdle. Not a good sign. We haven't been made aware of any potential injury concerns or anything that Archer's working on. I just told you, in fact, that he's been saying that his body's been feeling great, but haven't talked to him in the last couple of days.
And he's not going to continue.
Wow.
What else can happen with this ball club?
Trevor
What
Williams
else?
went 2 innings last night, removed because of ineffectiveness. Tonight, Archer 1 inning because of injury. And if we get any further word on why, we'll let you know. This probably just happened. Oh yeah, something just happened. Yeah, so this just happened. What? My goodness, what a shame too, because we were just pointing out how Archer's pitched some of his best baseball this year, and no one wants to miss any time. But he's going to come out of the game right now.
Wow! In the second inning, after almost using everybody last night against this lineup. Wow.
Yeah, the Pirates position players are going to have to warm up their arms tonight. The Pirates are also down a man because of Kyle Crick's suspension, which began tonight. So it's a thin pen to begin with. And the good news with that, at least, is that Pirates do get one arm back with Crick hitting the shelf. We'll look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update. And Richard Rodriguez, who missed the minimum 10 days with right shoulder inflammation, is back tonight. But the Pirates with a 7-man pen. And they're going to have to dip into it. And Steve, yeah, with a 2-inning start from Williams yesterday, this is all hands on deck.
And not just that, we don't know anything about the severity of the issue with Chris Archer.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is unbelievable what's been happening to this pitching staff throughout the course of this year.
So we'll take a break as Clay Holmes warms up here in the second inning. Clay Holmes will come in here in the second inning after Chris Archer has left with an apparent injury, throwing his 5th warm-up toss.
You don't know if it happened just on this one or it been building up through the previous warm-up pitches. We do not know that. We don't know any details.
When we get him, we'll pass him along. But that was his 5th warm-up toss between innings. Did not show any signs of any injury in the first inning. In fact, looked as good as ever, finishing off Soto and Cabrera on strikeouts. So.
Well, you want to hear a best case scenario, Clay? I'll tell it to you without even asking you to ask.
Okay, yeah.
3 good innings from Clay Holmes.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for.
That would get a foundation for you to get into the ball game. That would take you to the 5th inning, and then you go for broke from there. But he needs, Clint needs to get multiple innings out of somebody tonight.
Yeah.
If he wants to stay in the ball game.
Well, the Nationals yesterday, their starter left in the 4th inning with injury, and they got 3 2/3 perfect innings of relief from Javi Guerra. If you can get something like that, you can get kind of back in shape.
Yeah, 3 scoreless. They don't even have to be perfect.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
And Holmes is ready to face Matt Adams as the second inning will now begin. Holmes threw 41 pitches on Sunday in relief in Williamsport. Feliz has pitched 2 out of 3. Kella just pitched yesterday. Liriano's 2 out of 3 with 41 pitches in those 3. Stratton, I would imagine, is down no matter what today, pitching 2 in a row and 46 pitches. So you're looking at a thin bunch. Vasquez is going to pitch tonight no matter what it looks like. Kella probably too. It's one of those nights where you just need arms and then hope you don't need a position player.
Pirate bullpen now -1 man here in the second inning, pulled into action.
And you ask, well, why don't the Pirates have 2 long men? Typically they have. Well, Stratton's one of them, and he's pitched the last 2 days. Holmes is the other, and the Pirates don't have that extra depth because they've been playing with a 24-man roster now. This is the 16th game in a row they've played a man down because of suspensions. And Clint Hurdle was asked today, Osuna just came back. Hurdle was asked today, there's effect. There's no doubt, is what he said, and it's proof positive right here. But we'll see how it plays out.
Clay Holmes at times has been very impressive. Other times he has struggled mightily. Again,
that's a fair assessment.
Yep.
See the potential.
Yep. You got to look at results.
It can really stymie you with that 2-seamer at times, or the curve like that. And getting the lefty Adams.
Well, it's not a bad guy to start against. He's got enormous power, but he also strikes out a great amount of time. So here's the curveball, and it's a good one. Gets the swing and the miss, the chase. And the first out here in the second inning.
The other thing about coverage, you don't anticipate having starters go 3 innings total in 2 games. Maybe unless you're the Rays and you're using openers, but you have your starters in back of those guys. But I mean, legitimate starting pitchers. The last time that happened to the Pirates was almost to the day 14 years ago, where they had 2 consecutive starts of 2 innings or fewer. And so you really don't prepare for that eventuality because it just doesn't happen. That was Zach Duke and Kip Wells on those particular games. Mitch Keller threw a side session today, so if, in case you're thinking, well, would they use a starting pitcher? Musgrove set to go tomorrow or something like that, but Pirates haven't had any off days. You'd be bumping up guys on short rest.
So could you conceive of what you're saying? We're playing with 24 players. Could we call up somebody for tomorrow, make it 25?
No, you cannot play when a player is suspended. You cannot replace them on the roster. So
you can't fill that spot. So
no.
If you have 5 guys suspended, you're playing with 20?
Yes, but baseball allowed both the Pirates and Reds. The Reds actually got back to full strength tonight for the first time, but they've allowed the Pirates and Reds to tier those suspensions so that they're only down 1 man at a time. Because remember, the Pirates had 3 different suspensions of Kella and Osuna and now Crick. Not to mention Clint Hurdle missed manager for a couple of games too, but they could have been down 3 guys at once, but they didn't. They allowed them to space it out.
You're punishing the player and the team.
Yes.
Why not just the player? Rhetorical question. Who knows?
And so that's been what Hurdle's been tasked with, as well as David Bell. This and 2 more nights, so it'll be like this, and then they'll be back to 25 men, and then in a week after that, they'll be up to a 40-man roster. Won't have to worry about it.
So far, so good for Mr. Holmes. 2 up, 2 down.
This is what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
No easy task against what the Nats have done, but
well, they can't continue this kind of thing for now till the end of the season.
That's one way to think about it. Sure,
they can't, and it's impossible. But right now they're on that run. Runs and streaks start and end. They all do. They start and they end. Teams, players. Strasburg won 7 in a row, and now his ERA is about 9 last 3 starts.
Maybe this is the night where you see Holmes pitch well. I didn't have any time to think about it. Just get up there, go.
Yep. Trust your ability. Trust your talents. Trust your pitches.
Victor Robles working on an 8-game hitting streak.
You got to be impressed with this Washington team all the way around, but I'm impressed with this young man, the way he plays center field.
Does he cover some ground or
he
what?
He is just so fast and quick, and the quick read and the quick routes, outrunning the baseball.
Just 22 years old. Not even the youngest guy in the outfield for the Nationals.
That's quite a duo with him and Soto out there.
Bryce who? Right? Eaton is filled in nicely. Now Harper's a fantastic player, but Soto's basically put up better numbers than Harper this year, and Robles a center fielder.
He's probably making twice the money that Harper is. Maybe not.
Not yet. If he keeps this up, he will. They got a good group, and that's why when they started 19-31, everyone was scratching their heads. When we tell you it's early, 50 games into the season, the Nationals are proof of why that exists.
Well, it gives you a good idea what Major League Baseball is all about. The long season. The cream will come to the top and the other stuff will go to the bottom.
And it shows you how long it is too, because if you start 19-31 and then you surge late, well, you might make the postseason and you could keep going into the postseason. If it goes the other way around, it usually doesn't work out that way. Nationals hope to win their first postseason series, well, at least in Washington, since 1924. Look at our Point Park tweets. If Archer is placed on the injured list, they can call someone up. Yeah, absolutely. You can have 24 active players. You're allowed 25 unless you have a player suspended in this case. So yes.
So they could find out something tonight and make a move.
Yeah, tomorrow they could. If
still
Archer,
have your 24.
Yeah, if Archer gets placed on the injured list, and again we're ahead of ourselves here, but yeah, just talking about procedurally,
conceptually.
Yeah. Strasburg grounds out to end it, so the 2-out walk left stranded. And Holmes picks up for Archer, keeping the game scoreless.
I want to pass tonight's game as Pirates manager Clint Hurdle presented Josh Bell with the Heart and Hustle Award, an annual award that honors active players who demonstrate a passion for the game and best embody its values, spirit, and tradition. Now, let's be honest, most fans only see what Josh does in the field, which certainly has been great this season, but he does so much more away from the game. It's the first time that Bell has won this award. Guys, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it probably will not be the last time we see him win that award. Very cool for him. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Danny. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's presented by the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association. Yep. Very proud of getting the chance to vote on that. Yes, I did vote for it.
That's great. Yeah, well, he should. Yeah, national winner still to come, and Josh, perhaps most recently, working with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. A fundraiser just the other, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Among the many endeavors that he does so quietly, you don't really know what he's doing, and that's how he likes to do it.
Saw him downstairs in the tunnelway signing hundreds of Bell jerseys to be used for various fundraisers, charity events. And just not only him doing it, but the attitude with which he does those things. That's great.
That's got to be one of the things, and I wouldn't know this, but to have some celebrity and to be able to use that, for instance, in that case where you can sign something and someone can auction it off and raise some money for charitable good.
Yeah, and the thing is that professional athletes like Josh Bell can get indoors other people can't, and they do it, and most of them do it. Almost everybody does it.
How do you get through that shift?
By hitting it hard enough where they couldn't get to it.
Right between all the bumpers.
And I know the kind of work you do, and I know the kind of work I do, and shame on us if we don't do those kind of things, so we can get in those doors. But anyway, here's the shift. And if you're a good person, you can hit the ball through the shift. And Josh Bell's a good person.
I like that. Lead-off hit. Trying to mint something. The Pirates have scored 1 run total over their previous 3 games. Well, like you said, with anything, right? That's bound to change.
Yep.
And back-to-back hits to start here in the second.
Right in the hitting zone, and Mr. Moran does not miss it.
Like that it's on the outer edge, but you probably don't like that it's elevated.
Yep. And just in case you're wondering, Mr. Strasburg has given up 19 home runs in his first 25 starts. Just saying.
I don't know if that's a lot anymore or not. Remember, that would be a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a lot.
Blyleven threw 50 of them one year,
Yeah,
I think.
87.
Yeah.
With the Twins in the Homer Dome. It's been skewed in the last half a decade or so to kind of what we're used to thinking about. Okay, well, oh no, that's actually pretty good. Oh, I didn't know. Who knows? But
yeah. All bets are off now.
A lot have come lately. What, 6 in the last 3 starts for Strasburg? And
the veteran behind the plate securing that ball. Kurt Suzuki, he's been around a while. Strasburg has been around a while.
And when you said he was 31, that stuck out at me. The guys that come up young, Harper, still just 26 years old.
That's incredible.
But when they get Upton the other day, that was the one that was coming to mind. He's 31, 32, I think now, 32 years old, 13 years in the major leagues. You think about it, I thought he was just 18 a minute ago. Same thing with Strasburg. I thought he was 21 a minute ago when he, 22 or whatever it was when he came up.
And then out of the picture for a while with Tommy John surgery. Missed some time at a couple times during the course of this year, and he's still 15-5. #1 pick in the nation.
Minnesota doesn't run well, so they'll go around the horn. And that all but erases that opportunity. Let's go back to June 8th, 2010.
Look at all the red.
That was a tough ticket to get. 14 strikeouts, and that time it was a franchise record.
Sounds like rain pelting on a roof with the ball hitting the catcher's glove. A young Steven Strasburg getting a little pie in the face.
Didn't even shave yet, yeah.
From going from a pitcher to a mime.
Now Bell goes to third on that double play with 2 outs. Newman bunting.
That's been kind of a theme, hasn't it? When us starting rallies, getting something going, bang, double play.
Yeah, that happened last night a couple of times. Newman at 3-0-1, need a 2-out hit. Well, after the first 2 men reach, Strasburg wriggles out of that. And it stays scoreless through 2.
The Heart and Hustle All-Star, but has a new fan from the other side of the world, if you will. Australia in the house, along with teams from Mexico and Canada. That's right, the Little League World Series coming from Williamport here to PNC Park. And this is Lachlan, a versatile player that plays many positions for Australia. So first and foremost, first trip to America?
No, second.
Is so far the second trip better than the first? Have you seen more sights? What have you done so far?
100% better. We all going to the Little League World Series. It's been amazing seeing all the fields and meeting all the other players.
So this is this your first Major League Baseball game or your second?
So we went to see the Little League Classic, but this is my first proper Major League game. So yeah.
What are your thoughts of PNC Park? I heard it's kind of okay. Most people kind of want to come here and check it out.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing. Oh, there's a shot. It's got a great atmosphere. It's an incredible place to play at and spectate. It's awesome.
What has the trip been like? I mean, it's a long flight, I know, from Australia to the U.S., but how long have you been away from home? Tell me about a couple of the games that you've played.
So I've been away from home for coming up to about 2 weeks. Playing's been awesome. It's just against all of the other players all over the globe. It's an amazing experience.
What was it like to participate in the Little League Classic, to see some of these guys up close and personal?
Oh, well, first of all, I found out how big Josh Bell is. It's massive. And I met some of my dream players from the Cubs. It's awesome.
You guys played yesterday, correct?
We did. Did we play yesterday? I'm pretty sure we played yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, we played yesterday against Great Lakes. Unfortunately, we lost, but it was a great game after. Both the teams just came together and we just had a good time. It was awesome.
So how many more days do you have left in the U.S., and do you want to try to do anything else before you head back home?
Yeah, so we have about 6 more days left in the U.S. Anything else I want to do? What I'd really like to do would have to be to...
Josh Bell?
Yeah, well, first of all, yes. So I can size up and even take a walk through some cities and have a look at some other sightseeing opportunities.
Well, can enjoy the rest of your stay. I know you've done a lot in a short amount of time. Safe travels back to Australia.
Thank you.
Guys?
Hey, Dan, just make him talk forever. I just love to hear him talk. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
One of our announcers up in the broadcast booth wants to know if he can steal your accent, because he thinks that when you speak, it's just poetry. It's beautiful.
Unfortunately, he cannot. But
See, Steve, you struck out again, buddy. Sorry.
I'm used to being turned down. It's
I
okay.
can't help you out there, buddy.
I know. Good try, Dan.
Okay.
That's wonderful. I mean, just watching the young man and hearing him speak, that's just good. I think the older you get, the more you enjoy that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, it's wonderful. And,
it's terrific.
There's teams represented from 3 parts of the world. As guests of the Pirates, we're bussed in from Williamsport. Frank Coonley, Pirates president there, meeting and greeting teams from the Malatores Little League, Guadalupe, and also from Canada in the Vancouver suburb of Coquitlam, and also Australia, the Quinella team near Sydney. We met Lachlan from, and wow, what a
charming young man.
Man,
really.
he is.
I'd love
smart
to
guy.
give him a ride on the incline. Have him come up where I live.
Oh, that's wonderful. And a team from Mexico near Monterrey, Guadalupe.
Yep. Saw all 3 of those teams at the Classic.
What's really neat too. Eaton,
nicely
Park.
done.
He needed to be in drive, and so he's out.
Leaning and busted.
What a little league play. Right there. No. Just caught. I love what Lachlan said. Did you play? When's the last time you played?
When did we play? Yesterday. I think we played yesterday.
We watch these games and we think how high stakes they are. And the kids, the participants themselves who have flown in, have spent 2 weeks away from home. And they have to, I guess we played yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you got to take them to the
Wonderful.
Outback Steakhouse. That's where you got to take them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Give them a little taste of home.
Yeah, I guess so.
And blooming right. Cricky.
And we're getting word on Chris Archer that he left the game with right shoulder discomfort.
Not good.
So,
hope it's pre-active or proactive or whatever. Get him out of there before he really does some damage. So far, so good for Clay Holmes.
after Archer was injured, presumably in those warm-up tosses as he came out for the second inning. Holmes in his second inning of relief has faced one over the minimum. So this is right before the second inning in his fifth warm-up toss.
Shakes his head no. Calls Stallings out and said, we got an issue. We got a problem. Brian Housen coming out with the manager.
I'll follow it on Pirates post game tonight. See if there's any more word after the game. Meanwhile, Holmes tasked with trying to go as far as he can. Remember, Trevor Williams went 2 innings yesterday, removed for ineffectiveness, not because of injury.
Thank you for fouling that pitch that would have been ball 4.
Rendon, a keen eye at the plate, an all-star for the first time this year, but one of baseball's better players, really. And, has always been overshadowed with all the stars that the Nationals have had. Just missed. Third walk issued by Rendon.
Even Holmes.
Or by Holmes, I mean, for that matter.
Anthony Rendon, we always like to play the look-alike game. There's a favorite movie that I see, Tombstone, all the time with Kurt Russell, and Powers Booth plays Johnny Ringo. And if you did side by side with Anthony Rendon and Powers Booth, that would be one of those look-alike situations.
I'm not as well versed in the movies.
But if you want a good Western, that's a good one.
Okay. Yeah.
Tombstone.
I've heard of it.
Val Kilmer plays Doc Holliday, Kurt Russell, Wyatt Earp.
Is Peppa Pig in it?
I beg your pardon?
Okay. That's more my speed these days right now.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rendon, not much of a base stealer, and I say that, of course, with a stolen base already tonight.
Yeah, did the hesitation step going into second.
Tried to draw a throw with a runner at third. Pirates elected not to throw down, so Rendon scampered in with a steal. Archer struck out Soto with runners at second and third and 1 out back in that first inning. He got out of that jam, striking out Cabrera as well. And a good pitch by Holmes to strike out Soto again. 2 hitless, scoreless innings for Holmes.
Having lots of fun with the. We had a chance to talk to a member from Australia. Mexico is here as well, and of course our friends from up north, Canada. This is Everett from British Columbia, Vancouver. First time to the East Coast, second time to the States, but the first time to this part of the United States. Multiple times. Okay, so what are your thoughts of PNC Park? What do you think of PNC Park? Kind of cool, big. It's first time in this ballpark.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like all the buildings in the back, and not a lot of people here though.
That's okay. That's all right. It's hot. It's a sticky night, but can you tell me about the last 2 weeks, what you guys were able to do as a team, traveling from Vancouver, and what you were able to do in Williamsport?
Well, we had multiple practices in the batting cages, and it's just been so cool, all the free stuff we get.
What are some of the free things you got?
We got like helmets, gloves, bats.
You like all the attention, like interviews from annoying TV reporters like myself?
Yeah, it's pretty fun to do all that stuff.
It's pretty fun to do that stuff. I understand, if I'm correct, hockey tryouts are going on for you back home. So will you get a special tryout on your own since you're busy with baseball right now?
Oh, I think we'll catch the last couple tryouts.
You have a favorite hockey team, and be careful what your answer is.
Edmonton Oilers.
No way we could slide you over to the Penguins and some guy named Sidney Crosby?
Yeah, I like the Penguins too.
Hey, thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of the game. Safe travels back home.
Thank you so much.
Guys, it's all yours.
Well, thanks, Danny. These are fun.
Yep.
I love seeing just guys having some fun. Some young guys out here. They're watching a ball game, and they are major celebrities. We're watching them on TV and their games, and
they get interviewed. You ask them a question, they tell you, bang.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Doesn't seem like they take themselves too seriously.
Yeah. But you know what? They're not missing a trick. They are not missing a thing. They might not verbalize it, but they're taking it all in. That young man looking at those big buildings in back of this ballpark across the river. He may not talk about it too much, but he probably won't ever forget that image and that vision.
Yeah,
they don't miss anything.
Yeah, the team from Canada, just outside Vancouver, British Columbia. The team from Mexico, from Guadalupe, Nuevo Leon, and near Monterrey. Huge metropolis there, and the site of some Major League Baseball games already in Monterrey. That'll be interesting. I wonder if they've seen Major League Baseball because of the games that have been played there in Monterrey, not too far from the Mala Torres Little League.
Well, you know, they've seen a lot of it on TV. Because some of those kids have those mannerisms of.
Oh yeah.
They're copying big league ball players. Up in Williamsport the other night with Craig Kimbrell coming in with that praying mantis stance, and these kids were in back of home plate and they were jumping around like that. And I'm just thinking, what's going through Kimbrell's mind as he looks in at that, and then he gives up the home run to Marte. And
I used to 20 guys mocking him right behind the home plate.
So when we go to Chicago, we're going to bring those kids, and they're going to be back at Wrigley and back of.
Oh, you remember as a kid too. I mean, they try to mimic
a
batting stance or a wind up.
Sure.
These guys all did it. Eventually kind of settled into their own thing, but there's probably parts and pieces of all the different guys they admired through the years. Frazier growing that mustache out a little bit. Lined out his first time. That's what separates these guys from the little leaguers. Facial hair. It's a little more.
And a lot of it.
A little bit more skill right now. But there's so many little leaguers that have gone on to the big leagues. You see the guys in orange back there?
And then the home run hit. Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping out the other night. It was just the only run we got, but appreciate the effort.
Marte provided the thrill for those guys. It's so great of the Pirates to bring those teams in from Williamsport. We get to see some of the countryside of our Commonwealth and move through onto our fair city. Taking a Major League ball game tonight.
Well, Joe, it just got squared away. Powers Booth played John Brocious, and Johnny Ringo was played by Michael Band in Tombstone. So appreciate the correction on that. I knew he was in the movie. Got the character wrong, but thank you for that correction. I'm on this technology stuff now.
Yeah, instantaneous. Strasburg, a 1-2-3 inning. No score through 3. Scoreless game through 3, and the Nationals coming to bat here in the 4th inning. A very pleasant summer night. With the little leaguers in the house tonight too, thinking about back to school.
Yeah. Some of them are starting this week.
Yeah, this is where it begins for some, and yesterday was a first day for a good bit. Always more fun with the kids out at the ballpark.
Yeah, well, some of the parents getting their lives back. School starts
6 hours at a time. Lets it get through.
Why? You know, a lot of pitchers will take a shot at that ball, but if you don't know where your infielders are, well, who knows?
Sunday is a kids' day at PNC Park, where the Pirates host the Reds at 1:35. Kids 14 and younger take home a kids players weekend jersey. You can even customize your own nickname just like the players do. That's all thanks to Kennywood. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays. Sunday will end this long homestand, a chance to watch the Pirates maybe before you go back to school, or maybe come out this weekend after that exhausting school week. Kick back and relax.
Well, relax watching Clay Holmes work right now. He's been absolutely terrific.
You've been getting a lot of what you've asked for today. You asked for a couple of strikeouts from Archer.
Yeah,
we got in that jam in the first.
Yeah.
You said, I want 3 scoreless from Clay Holmes.
Yeah, and I've got a much longer list. Too,
oh,
John.
okay.
Yeah.
What else is on there? Oh, wow.
Yeah, but so far so good. You know, going back to that play right back at Clay, 1-3. I always thought if I can get the ball, I want to get it because I got the shortest throw. But now I paid the price one time when I reached up against the Reds and Johnny Edwards hit a ball that had a lot of spin, and I went and grabbed it barehanded and broke my thumb. Missed,
boy.
2 or 3 weeks.
On your pitching hand?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 or 3 weeks, that's it?
Yep.
Did you need a thumb to pitch? Did it heal that fast?
Well, yeah, it did. I used to be able to put it up straight like this.
Oh.
But I can't now because it's broke.
Oh, I see.
It was broke. Other than that, minimal damage.
Yeah.
Just maybe a hairline fracture. But not on the hairline, on the thumb.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's no hairline.
Finger line.
Yeah.
Something like
But
that.
the first instinct is to grab the ball.
And you saw Holmes jut that glove out for it.
Yeah, and take it back. And you just hope that he knows his infielder is there, because if he had a chance and let it go, then you don't feel good about yourself.
Once in a while you see that. In that case, Newman right there.
I mean, there are many times. It's probably hard to imagine now with all the shifting and everything, but there's many times I had no idea where my infielders were in back of me. You're just locked into the catcher, and that's all that's happening in your world. Like the last out of the World Series, I thought was a base hit up the middle. Didn't realize, or Jackie Hernandez was shading up that way. Ball went by me, and I said, all right, get in here, Dave. Justy.
Another strikeout for Holmes, his third. Yeah, what a magical moment that must have been to turn around and go, wait a minute.
Jackie, catch it. Now throw it. Now you catch it, Roberts.
Because the ball up the middle, if it got past the mound,
yeah.
it was going to get through a lot of times.
Yeah.
You didn't often have that.
And the lucky part of the bounce was that it did hit part of the mound and took it over a little bit towards shortstop. So it all worked out according to plan. Like tonight is. According to plan so far.
Well, this national
other than Chris Archer getting knocked out of the, or being hurt and out of the game.
Right shoulder discomfort for Archer.
Yeah, cross our fingers that he's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Clay gets this batter, I mean, there's no reason you wouldn't send him out there, you know, as long as he's being effective.
Sure, I would think, right?
He's been terrific so far.
Doesn't look like he's tiring or losing effectiveness. Providing a lift here tonight.
Yep, a few extra pitches because of the 3 walks. Have to factor that into the number of pitches thrown, which is sitting at 45 or 46 right now. 46. Yeah.
And 3 strikeouts.
Yep.
Usually takes a little while to get through that too. 3-0 here to Suzuki. And if you want to pick apart what Clay Holmes can do, yeah, we saw whether it's the 2-seamer or whether it's the curveball, he gets a lot of strikeouts. He's also walked a lot of guys. Typical of a lot of young pitchers, not everybody, but a lot of them. When they can bring that command down a little bit and rein it in some, it usually means success.
Well, the thing that's going on right now is that they're not getting any hits off them. So you can live with some free passes. You combine free passes with hits, and now you got a bad mix. So is he tiring a little bit now, standing up a little straighter, and then you get out of your regular set of mechanics? That was 4 straight balls.
4 straight balls,
Yeah.
and now 4 walks and
Yeah.
2 2/3.
But he's down toward the bottom of the lineup.
Which unfortunately means nothing for the Nationals because they all have double-digit homers. Robles on an 8-game hitting streak. But he gets him to pop it up.
This is good stuff from Clay Holmes. Very good stuff on a night where good stuff is needed from him.
3 scoreless, hitless Mexico World Series here visiting the Pirates. And before the game, assistant hitting coach Jacob Cruz giving him some goodies, thanking them for coming out.
Bucket of balls.
A group from the Malatores Little League in Guadalupe. Out there getting to meet the Pirates players and coaches, and Jacob Cruz making sure that everybody goes home with some souvenirs. Everybody interacting. For a while, adversaries in the international bracket facing one another. Now just eating some crab fries.
And hitting that popcorn hard.
Could you imagine you're not even in high school yet, you get to meet people from all over the world and get to go to another country
and fly these big airplanes
and keep playing the game that they love, right?
Yep.
And once in a while, some of these guys keep playing at the game that they love and get paid for it, and sometimes get paid very handsomely for it. Look at our Point Park tweets, and Ethan tagged along with some of the teams as they were special guests tonight of the Pirates. That's pretty neat. Getting a picture. I like how they all hang out together. It's not just, all right, Team Canada or Team Australia. They're all right next to each other. They're all talking to one another.
Yep, great experience. They won't forget this whole thing. Furthest I got from Falls Village was West Cornwall, down the road, down Route 7. That's 10 years old.
I don't think I ever got to play outside the city, let alone the country or state or anything like that. So that's neat. That's really neat.
Still trying to get these Pirates some offense. Get the offense going. I mean, there have been times where this offense has been unstoppable, but it's been very stoppable in recent games.
And tonight, running into the winningest pitcher in the National League.
Yep, never gets much easier. Strasburg, first 25 starts, just 37 walks. 4 intentional walks, I don't count them. 37 free passes, 25 starts. That's exceptionally good.
Been pitch efficient. Got Marte and then Bell to follow Reynolds. So this could be where the Pirates break open a lead. Had some nasty movement on it. And Reynolds strikes out looking. That looked like it was going to be off the plate. Right at the last moment. There it is.
Got a piece of that line. That's that 50-50 line. You'll get some of them. You won't get all of them. Calls are almost evenly divided.
And when you think, okay, I've got ball 4, that is outside. Here comes burrowing back. And Rendon quickly records a second out. 40 pitches and 11 outs for Strasburg. Remember, he gave up back-to-back hits. Bell and then Moran started the second inning with singles. It was first and second, nobody out. And just a few pitches later, the inning was over. It was a 9-pitch inning, despite giving up 2 hits.
2 hits to start. We got a full dose of that with John Lester, didn't we? Last time the Cubs were in all kind of jams, and the veteran pitched his way out of it, and that's why he's been very, very good for a long time.
And there's two schools of thought. Lester, Strasburg, and the like. They're very good. But if you want to be very good, you have to beat those guys at least somewhat regularly. And the Pirates, of course, have had some trouble with teams 500 or better. They've won once in the last month against a team with a 500 or better record, winning record, at the time playing them.
Well, there's a reason they're over 500. They're good.
Yeah, the Pirates have gone 3-20 since the All-Star break against teams with a winning record, 7-28 overall. So that's been an issue all year, really, is trying to beat those very good teams. That's something the Pirates actually did very well at last year, was beating the teams that ended up either going into the postseason or had winning records. Any way you sliced it, the Pirates were very competitive. I think that was probably part of the reason why I say, okay, well, they don't have to get much better to get in this year. And now, obviously, in the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks, they have careened from at least being around a postseason position. A lot of it stems from, can you beat this guy? He's really good.
Well, the good ones have a unique talent. Every successful major league pitcher has to have the ability, the awareness, or whatever, the wherewithal to get out of jams, because every pitcher gets in jams. And the guys that get out of it most are going to be successful, because you always are. You're going to have jams. That's part of being a starting pitcher.
We're talking about that consistency earlier. That works right there too, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, consistently getting out of jams where you don't get beat up. You give up a run, you get the bases loaded, nobody out, or you get a double play ball, or you don't let an inning get away from you all the time. Strasburg had that start three or four starts ago where he gave up 9 runs. That doesn't happen very much. Most of the time, if he's in trouble, not having a great night, he can minimize damage, and that's how you succeed. You can win semi-ugly some of the times.
Turner with the final out. 8 in a row sent down by Strasburg, and on a Tuesday night, a pup night here at PNC, be a weapon if you want to use him as a pinch runner, defense in center field, or anywhere really.
He can still fly.
Yeah.
I was surprised when I saw that somebody let him go, designated him, or whatever they do to get rid of him. I was surprised when I read that he was let go.
Yeah, he just has never really hit in the last several years. And but yeah, Kansas City not in the thick of things. You'd think, well, all right, might as well just leave him out there. But maybe they had somebody young that they wanted to get some playing time for.
Yep. All right, Clay, one more inning. That would be terrific if we can ask for one more on the bonus round here.
Get to face Strasburg to start. There is some activity, though. Michael Feliz is up. Archer went 1 inning and appeared to be hurt throwing his warm-up tosses prior to the 2nd inning. Left the game with right shoulder discomfort. Holmes has come on and issued 3 hitless, scoreless innings of relief. Strasburg. And Osuna able to haul it in.
Nice job, huh? Ball slicing away from him from the right-hand batter. That ball kept running away, running away. Now he's smiling because he got that ball inside the leather. Good pursuit. And that's just exactly what Clay Holmes deserves, as he's hoping that that ball's going to be caught, retiring the pitcher. Let's see, Jose lock into it.
Look on our Allegheny Health Network Super Mode.
Late lunge, and he's got it.
Back to the top of the order for Turner.
Yeah, and you know he's got to be breathing heavy right now. So you're looking for, in any ball that's hit hard, make me a play. you really have an appreciation for that effort right there. It doesn't seem like much, but he's out there probably kind of getting winded right now. And so to get that out on a ball well hit, That's an appreciation. Thank you, Jose. Pitchers appreciate that.
Holmes threw 41 pitches on Sunday in Williamsport. Got a day off and now nearing 60 here in this relief appearance. I guess it's like a start. He just had to do it over a 3-day span. He's been just what the Pirates have needed.
Yeah, and you know, when you get your starting pitcher out of the ball game, the first thing you're thinking, oh my goodness, this chances aren't good, and the percentages probably back that up. But here's a chance where you can get on the other side of the 5th inning now, and you're in this ball game. This is a terrific job if he can close the deal here in the top of the 5th.
That's the first hit he's allowed. 1 out base runner. Turner very speedy. And come on out to the ballpark for fireworks night on Friday when the Pirates host the Reds at 7:05. And stick around for a post-game Zambelli fireworks show thanks to Powerade. Get your tickets for Friday night. Go to pirates.com/fireworks. Come and join us here on a pup night tonight every Tuesday home game.
Yeah, nice earrings. They're going to watch Clay Holmes very closely now during this at bat to see how he holds up. Delivers a nice looking pitch there to start the at bat off. But he's probably pretty gassed right now. Get him a double play ball, pop him, get him a second out here, and put a lid on the 5th inning. Work to be done.
He's gotten a pickoff already. That was of Eaton.
Turner has stolen 26 bases out of 30 attempts. Worth giving a look at for sure.
Among the leaders, 3rd best. He's one of those guys that you don't have to have 2 outs here to see him try to take off. But if you're quick home, and not give him the opportunity.
But he does provide a distraction. You got to switch your attention off him and toward home plate in half a second. You got to watch him over there right now. Keep track of him. Keep track of him. Really keep track of him. You want to be quick, and so easy to get that quick, get the body out in front of you quick and leave the ball upstairs.
A delayed try, and then he smelled the pitch out.
You know, we talk about all the numbers in baseball. You don't see all that many pitch outs anymore.
No, yeah.
You see Stallings, that's the pitch out. He's out there. And then the shutdown of the running game.
And I would think Tim Bogar must have said something, because usually when you take off, you're not looking in unless it's hit and run or something like that, but just straight steal here. Might heard stop. Running now, they pitched out again. Shades of Tony La Russa.
Oh, what a tag. What a great tag on a low throw.
You never see back-to-back pitch outs anymore.
No.
La Russa used to do that back in the day, and that's it. The Pirates using it to perfection.
This is nice. That's the bounce right there. Comes down, the tag applied. Boy, does Clay Holmes appreciate that work with his catcher. And Mr. Newman. Yep.
There it is.
The art of the tag. People don't talk much about that, but there are guys that made a reputation out of being good taggers, if you will. Tom Foley used to talk about that when he was with the Pirates. Great work.
That was fun and well done. So a couple of outs on the bases, a pickoff and a caught stealing under Holmes's watch.
And two good plays here in the top of the fifth. The catch by Osuna and that work with Stallings and Newman.
Now 3-2 on Eaton. A hit by pitch. Painful way to be on base for the third time today. That's going to be it for Holmes. Well, what do we say? 3 2/3 scoreless like Gary yesterday.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be something if he could do that today? Well,
absolutely.
Indeed, right there on the back of the right leg, the hamstring area. What an effort for Clay Holmes. 3 2/3 after Archer left after an inning tonight because of injury.
And appreciation from the folks over by the Pirate dugout, and deservedly so.
Here in the fifth as Clay Holmes goes 3 2/3 innings. Greg Brown working solo, at least on the air. Doranchek and Mark Garda back watching him. Oh, that's why. Bob is visiting with the pups.
Telling the dog to smile. That's good. Where are the treats, Bob? You got to take treats with you.
Yeah. They don't know English.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
Oh, he's doing some training seminars, I think, out there. Oh, can I autograph your dog?
Yeah, I saw him working with Greg before the game, telling Greg to fetch, and Greg would fetch for him.
Well, dogs make you happy, don't they?
Yep, they are. All they want to do is be fed and loved.
What, Bob?
No, we're talking
about
the
dogs. Oh, I thought that's why
Bob,
we went out
Bob
there.
too.
Yeah.
Bob also.
Yeah. How about another? Almost.
Close.
You got to be on your toes tonight.
Yep. We want this out. We really want this out so it keeps Clay Holmes' performance clean. There's the attempt. Throw and around. Oh, a bounce over the bat. Maybe that bounce might have cost him the out. It's hard for the first baseman because he doesn't know exactly where the runner's hand is or where the runner is. He's looking back at the catcher. Nope.
Out toward the gap, and with 2 outs, the speedy Eaton will be on his way home and will score.
Little double clutch on the relay. I don't know if it would have made a difference. But that ball out to deep right center field, and with 2 outs off at contact, the Nationals get on the board.
And that's unfortunate. That run gets assessed to Holmes.
Yep. Ball out over the plate. Get it to the gap. See if we can pick up where the relay comes in. I don't know if we can stay with it that long on this. Here it comes. We're going to follow the runner.
It was just a little hitch.
Yep.
I'm with you. I don't think it would have gotten there in time without it, but it leaves a little doubt.
The throw was so good after the hitch that it just makes you wonder. I don't think it's likely either. And we have the first run of the baseball game. Now the pop-up.
And Newman called off. Reynolds will have the final out. Nationals take the lead in the 5th, 1-0.
I remember having a T-shirt with all Mike Lang's sayings all over it, all over. And there's a bunch of them. I was saying, he said, "You're on it." He said, "You're Sam." And by him 1-2.
How many times do you think he used that? You could be Sam, huh?
Yeah, you can be Sam. Yep. All the time.
I like that. Yeah, there you go. He's one.
Yep. And well behaved, very well behaved at the ballpark.
There's Arnold Slick in the background.
Yep. Turtle Creek. Yep.
Well, now Strasburg has a lead for the first time. Moran has one of the 2 Pirates hits. Came in succession in that second inning, but Strasburg quickly got a double play ball and a bounce out.
So the final line for Clay Holmes: 3 2/3, a run on a hit, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts.
Eaton. That's unbelievable attempt right there, but trapped it. And so Moran aboard with his second hit.
It's been a busy 10 minutes for Adam Eaton. Yeah, that's got the glove in the wrong position. You like to get the leather down first. There's an awkward body language at the end. So we get something going. Nobody out. Got another runner on.
That kind of looked like a knight in his movement. Didn't take a straight line. Now Osuna. So the Pirates had 2 leadoff men on in the second inning. And then Strasburg cleaned it up. Well, maybe this will be the inning where they break through. Remember, the Pirates have scored just 1 run total, including tonight, in the last 4 games. But they still have the rest of tonight to change that around.
In on the hands for Jose. Good to have him back, available and out there.
Yeah. And we'll get away from Suzuki.
Bouncy ball.
Moran motors into second.
Okay, gets out of the double play situation. That's the 7th wild pitch. That's the breaking ball.
Oh, it stayed down on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Now in scoring position, nobody out until that pitch.
Number 5 for Strasburg. Strasburg he's ranked in so many categories of National League leaders, including WAR. Is that wins over replacement? Now, who replaced him? Is that how that works? I don't know what half
the
of this
fact
stuff
that you
means.
know what that means.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you're close.
Somebody who replaced him?
The replacement player. So if you brought up somebody from the minor leagues or could pick up somebody for nothing, whoever's available
To replace Strasburg.
Right. And so he's that much better than the player that you can get anywhere. I'm trying to oversimplify.
Yeah, but he's replacing Strasburg. Who's better than Strasburg? Why would you replace Strasburg with a player?
The wins value over the basically the player. If you had to call somebody up or pick somebody up that's a free agent right now.
So Strasburg got hurt and he replaced Strasburg?
If you took a player that, say from the minor leagues, you called somebody up, their top pitcher that's at Fresno right now.
Yeah.
And now he's going to pitch instead of Strasburg.
Oh, okay.
Strasburg
he's replacing Strasburg.
4 wins more than that guy over the course of this point of the season. He's going to win his team 4 more games. That's at least the parlance that you would use for
WAR. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
They were ahead of the game with that song. You think a guy with that kind of fastball throwing so many changeups and.
I want to go back to the Guaribi game-winning RBIs. Remember those?
That used to be
GWRBI.
Late 80s, maybe.
Yeah,
that was a.
I used to pronounce Guaribi.
Oh,
Garibi. And they got rid of it.
Yeah, well, they still keep it, just no one cares. That's like that with a lot of stats, right?
They do still keep game-winning RBIs?
You can get it.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like your favorite dish at a restaurant. They can take it off the menu, but if you still order it.
Cooked custom order.
They still know how to make it.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Pooch. Is that a golden doodle? What is that?
I got a pup up in my building. His name is Ralph, golden retriever.
Yeah.
He's a young golden retriever, and he is a joy to be around.
Aren't they all?
Old Ralph.
Good dog name.
And I think that dog we just saw, that would be Fenimore. I think I'd name him Fenimore.
Oh, that's what you'd name it.
Yep.
I thought you knew that dog.
Well, I know the dog that lives in my apartment.
Oh.
His name's Ralph.
Well, Bob knows all those dogs out there now. He just met them all.
Yep. There's Fenimore.
Oh, okay. Oh, Bob is back from his sojourn out at Pup Night.
Walking the dog.
Out to left. Soto has his second out. And Strasburg tonight throwing roughly 40% fastballs. A lot of curveballs, a lot of changeups.
6'5", 235, big man.
Really become noticeable how he's pitched backward. And you think someone with lesser stuff might do that to try to trick guys. He's doing it with command and with a fastball that can ride up to 95, 96 miles an hour. Richard Rodriguez just activated on the roster and in the bullpen. Melky Cabrera would bat for Feliz if the spot comes up. Moran out there in scoring position. Pirates have had their troubles in that department. Their last run scoring hit with a runner in scoring position was Newman's walk-off on Friday. They are 1 for 30. That one was Bell's comebacker that knocked Joe Ross out of the game yesterday, but it didn't score a run. That can all change with a base hit here from Stallings. Even if Stallings doesn't get a hit here, being able to erase a base runner. His back-to-back pitch outs. Jason Steele tells us that the last time the Pirates did that was 5 years ago, and then the time before that was 2003 that they had consecutive pitch outs. So that's something that you keep at the very back of the playbook.
I was going to say that if you didn't believe that they keep track of everything, now you do.
Yeah, that even mystified me that Jason could find that. He's the best. Leadoff hit left on, and the Nationals still lead.
Well, pitch outs last inning. Well, the Pirates as a whole working on some defense earlier this afternoon. Before they actually went to work in the cage at batting practice, they had their outfielders go through some work, position players, pitchers, practicing rundowns. I had a chance to talk to Jacob and actually Adam Frazier for that matter, and they said it is kind of nice to hit the reset button, fine-tune a couple of things, maybe clean up some things from time to time, even though some of the drills they did are maybe some things we don't see unless we're in spring training, but nice to refresh themselves.
I think so. I mean, the Pirates have not been their sharpest defensively. So talking with Clint Hurdle last week about that same thing, and he said, yeah, they do a lot of different drills. Usually the second day of the homestand, or of each series, I should say, they will try to attempt to do that. But today was a little bit more involved than usual. Yeah, it's been 6 months, 5 months, I should say, since spring training ended. So
what can it hurt?
Yeah. Used to be you'd see teams take infield practice on an almost daily basis.
Yeah,
it would follow batting practice.
That was part of the fun for the fans that came early. You see infield practice and the outfielders throw to all the bases. Part of the pregame ritual. Now most of that is done in the early afternoon.
So Clemente would.
Oh, what a show he would put on.
Put a couple of throws on to third base just to.
Oh yeah.
Make sure, and then.
And Willie Stargell had a great arm.
We forget about that, I think, when we think about Pops in the later years, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, consider this too: playing the ball's hooked foul, playing in left field, 365 down the line at Forbes Field, and he would go down in the corner, and the foul pole is 365 feet. Now most of these are 320, 330 at the most down the lines, but that was 365. And he would make it very interesting for guys trying to stretch a single into a double at second base.
A lot of throw to second.
Straight overhand. And the longer throws to home plate. He made a great throw in the World Series. And it happened to take a high bounce. Manny Sanguin had to go up. And Frank Robinson slid under for the winning run in Game 6. But that was a great throw by Willie. He had a great arm.
Yeah, the dimensions.
It was a massive field.
I was going to say the dimensions.
I mean, you go 365, and the next one would be 406, and then 436, and then center field 457 with the batting cage and the foul pole in play.
Because no one would ever hit it out there.
Yeah, I mean, we almost lost Matty Lou a couple times. He wasn't the biggest guy, and he'd go out there early in the game in the sunset before it really got dark. Where's Matty? Oh, there's a fly ball to him.
It's something to think about that. Yeah, we marvel at the notch. It's 410 out there, and
457.
Yeah, that was.
Of course, the right field
standard
line was 300, but they had the screen in front. So it was a lot of opportunities to do different things in that ballpark. There's the notch.
That's now one of the largest dimensions in any park. There are some that have more, but probably half the ballparks don't have anything even that far away, or at least not marked.
Now, up in Williamsport, it was 411 to center field in the the Major League ballpark where they played Pirates and Cubs.
Leadoff walk to Asdrubal Cabrera. So you needed those strong and accurate arms in the outfield, I would suppose.
Yeah. Bill Verdon was great out there. Willie could have a great gun, and Clemente would go down in the corner, and if his throw was to home plate, it would be over the head of some of the fans. So instead of looking out, they'd be looking straight up. Wow, it was incredible.
Now to think about that defensive outfield.
Yep.
At their peaks. Matt Adams, a strikeout victim twice tonight. That was both against Clay Holmes.
And all those outfielders back then with Bob Prince had nicknames. The great one was Clemente, and then you had the Quail, Bill Verdon. Over on the hill with Will Stargell, and if Bob Skinner was out there, he was the dog, because he kind of ran a unique gait as he ran.
Got another strikeout for Adams.
First out here in the 6th. See the spin on the breaking ball, way out in front. Thinking fastball, got the curve. Trouble with the curve.
Pirates pitchers have done a good job tonight after Chris Archer left, throwing his warm-up tosses in the second inning. Right shoulder discomfort. Holmes picked up 3 2/3 and didn't allow a run while he was on the mound, but Feliz Gave up a double to Rendon that scored Adam Eaton, who was hit with a pitch. And that run assessed to home. So right now he's the pitcher of record.
Suzuki, the catcher, veteran catcher, good double play candidate. But we're going to get him out with the ball up in the air.
Newman has the second out. And coming up on Saturday, the Cincinnati Reds are in town this weekend, and a 7:05 start on Saturday. The first 20,000 fans get to take home a stylish Pirates lightweight hoodie thanks to Starkist. Make sure you pick up your tickets. Come on out this weekend. Pirates.com gets you in.
Yep. Autumn's coming. Hoodie weather.
And if you don't think so, with the humidity and the temperatures still cresting toward 90.
Yeah, it was smoking today, but it's on the way.
We've got the pod full of fall candles and colored wreaths that my wife brings in by the truckload every fall and get ready.
Autumn stuff, yeah.
And we've negotiated that. I said, fall doesn't start till fall. And she goes, well, no, it starts in September. And I said, okay, fine. September, you can.
Right answer, by the way.
Fall decorations.
Okay, fine.
Which now has gotten extended to as soon as I leave on the road, which in this case will be on Sunday. I won't be back until September. So now fall will begin on August, what, 25th this year in our household. So Beth will have everything up and ready to go within the hour. I depart that morning. She'll even shake all the trees so that all the leaves fall down. They're all green at that point, but I'll start raking.
I'm a big fan of your bride now because I love that time of year. So
I do
start
too.
it whenever you want to.
I do too.
But the key for you was to say, okay, fine, and during the middle of that.
I've now getting closer to our second decade of marriage here. The first decade takes you a little while to learn that. I've gotten that down now.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, I got 5 in, plus 4 years of bad behavior in high school. So yeah, you get the hang of it, get the handle.
Still soliciting advice.
I have none other than okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay, fine works a lot better.
Yep.
They put up with a lot from us. I mean, I'm just throwing you into the mix, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Trust me.
So he's trying to get around this leadoff walk here in the 6th.
And he will.
Osuna wraps it up. Let's see if the Pirates can get going. Making our way to the bottom of the 6th. Where's Rick down there? Box seat waiter?
Oh, yeah.
Years and years.
He'll be working.
Probably out getting some popping corn for the patrons with that kind of view. Wow, that's something. There's Rick. Oh, you know he's not far.
On the job. He has got more different Pirate baseball uniforms than you can possibly imagine.
Is that his Crawford's outfit on tonight?
Yeah, that's a wardrobe.
Pablo Reyes is going to bat for Feliz, who chips in an inning in the 3rd. So the Pirates have strung this together pretty well. 5 innings out of 2 relievers. Picking up for the injured Archer, who went the 1st inning. Strasburg 65 pitches through 5. And this helps the Nationals too, because they lost their starter Ross in the 4th inning yesterday. They don't have an off day coming up for another 9 days after this. So as they continue their postseason quest, right now in position to be the top wild card team and host the Cubs as it stands today. 2 games up on Chicago. 5 games back of the Braves and in second place in the East.
The big man on the mound still getting it there at 95 miles an hour.
But yet throwing more breaking and off speed stuff than fastball. So
yeah. Well, he's been knocked around the last 3 starts, so maybe changing, adjusting his approach, his pitch mix. Going to hang up.
Certainly been working. He's allowed 3 singles. So 1 out here in the Pirates' 6th inning. Joe Musgrove gets the ball tomorrow night as game 3 of this series will come your way. Left-hander Patrick Corbin for the Nationals. Our Nissan road ahead. And we'll have it for you. 6:30 Pirates pregame tomorrow night here from PNC Park.
Have they verified Scherzer yet for Thursday?
It is all but for sure. Okay. He's told reporters slyly that look for him or something to that effect. So we'll look for him. Meanwhile, Strasburg tonight. And shoots it fair. Playing it around out there. And Soto will get it in. Down a run in the 6th. Frazier plays it safe.
Yeah, that's a big time play in left field to keep it to a single, 1-run game. Sliced it right on the chalk over third base. And you got to be thinking 2 right now. As third base umpire Marvin Hudson makes the call, getting out of the way. But there's Soto. See how far he comes. He gets over there very, very quickly. Plays the bounce very well. And when he has it in front of him like that, you have to shut it down.
And Frazier out of the box hard too, so he was thinking too. Any misfortune, misplay out there, and
as long as that ball is in front of the fielder, you really can't take off. You know, anytime it's away from him or back of him, then you go. But they're staring you down when the ball's in front of them and going to make a good throw to second.
The base runners have been hard to come by. Reynolds beats out the back end. A little hesitation there from Turner.
Yeah, and Strasburg looked a little awkward on the throw. I don't know. I want to take another look at it, but the Pirates don't get doubled up. Here's the chop right back at him. Yeah, all right. Kind of a little bit of a lob throw. Not quickly done.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Seam it up, yeah,
that was awkward at second base.
Didn't have handle on it. So the Pirates benefit. Keeping a man on now with 2 out. Let's see if they cash in here. And now Reynolds on a fielder's choice. You don't get credited for a hit even though he takes the base. So 323 batting average now for Reynolds. One of his lower marks in some time right now. Marte hitless in his 2 trips. His home run in Williamsport is the Pirates' lone run over the last 4 games, including tonight. Let's talk about it so it doesn't happen. The Pirates have had 3 times where they've scored just 1 run over 4 games in their history, according to Baseball Reference. 1955, 1959, and in 1986. So you get a run tonight and not talk about that. All right, so there's the leaders right now. Reynolds still 4th, but sliding to 10 points behind Yelich, who's also hitless tonight. McNeil's still been on the injured list. Charlie Blackmon plays out west tonight. They're out in Arizona. to Rendon. It's the short route. And the Pirates are out in the 6th. Nationals still clinging to a 1-0.
What's your all-time favorite movie?
Remember the Titans.
If you didn't play baseball, what would you do?
I coach baseball.
Favorite meal that your mom or grandma made growing up?
Favorite meal? I'd probably just go tacos just because it's basic.
Biggest fear?
Heights.
City living or country living?
Country.
I thought so. Favorite pig out food?
Oh, pizza. That's like 3 or 4 nights a week.
So let me get this straight. If he's pigging out on pizza 3 or 4 times a week, he's not standing there at that physique. There's no way.
Well, Danny, don't you think he moves around a little bit more than, say, you and I do?
No.
I don't know.
Right. Well, some insight.
You must be.
Let me just say he has a quick metabolism. Okay, fine.
Yep.
Strasburg, right to Reynolds. Now, he is also, I don't know how old Danny is, but he might be younger than Danny, too. Richard Rodriguez off the injured list.
55th appearance of the year.
Not a lot of pizza for Richard either. Got that slim physique. Second year now with the Pirates. He has 2 quick outs. Let's go back to our studios and check in with Rob King. He's got a game break. Do it on purpose. I'm glad you've been catching that. I don't do it every time, though. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, that's not Freddie the freeloader, the old Red Skelton character. That's Freddie Freeman.
He has been earning his keep, to say the least, through the years. Well, Adam Eaton.
You know, you talk about guys that fly under the radar like Rendon. Freddie Freeman.
Oh boy, yeah.
Appreciated as much as he should be.
Well, he's at least gone to the All-Star game. Rendon, this was the first year he even was an All-Star. Now some injuries kind of beset Rendon, but yeah, Freeman, another guy that doesn't get that wide talk. Beat out Josh Bell for the first base nod in the All-Star game this year, so maybe just now starting to get those public accolades. But a decade in now, finally catching people's attention. Adam Eaton out of Springfield, Ohio, to Miami University. And Rodriguez dispatches the Nats, swatting them away in the 7th.
19 home runs, give me mark right here.
Called tonight with one of the Pirates' 4 hits, all singles. Strasburg tonight throwing about 40% fastballs. The rest like that. Flipping up a curve, throwing the changeup. Been fascinating. See that approach? It's worked. Because that fastball is so firm that you're not seeing the Pirates hitters sit there and go, okay, I'm going to sit changeup right here, you know, or I'm going to sit curveball right here.
Yeah. Strasburg out in front 0-2 with not having thrown a fastball yet. His first 2 deliveries, 81 miles an hour and then 88 miles an hour.
The curve and then the change.
Might expect him to be a little more old school, but he's working from a stretch position as a starter. Nobody on base.
We're seeing more and more of that as starters try to
tighten up their delivery.
Yeah, maybe find a way where
less moving parts.
Yeah, they get more consistent.
Big sweeping breaking ball. Used to call that the old roundhouse.
Not a fastball yet to Bell. Entered play today, leading the league in extra base hits and in doubles, and tied for the league lead in runs batted in. Still having that fantastic year. And he sends one out to center, but Robles with room for the out. Well, finally got something good to take a rip at.
Down and in, and he got a lot of it, just not enough of it.
Came in hard, went out harder. But just an out. Maybe that's why I didn't want to throw him a fastball before that. Moran has 2 of the Pirates' 4 hits, 2 for 2 tonight, 2 singles. On a night where the Pirates have kept quiet this explosive Nationals offense. Franchise record set left and right going into tonight. The stretch that they've been on over 5 games coming into tonight, 62 runs over 5 games. No team in baseball has done that in 12 years. And tonight the Pirates have held them to a single run, yet can't get anything against Strasburg thus far.
Strasburg has that changeup that he does not give away. He uses the same arm motion, delivery pretty much the same as the fastball, doesn't telegraph it.
He's out there going for his 16th win tonight. That would tie him for the most in the majors and set a new career high for him. Has kept the pitch count low so that he can be out there.
I was going to look and I got distracted as to who he is tied with. Oh.
Domingo Germán of the Yankees has 16 wins.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Strasburg leads the National League right now. Now it's full. Strasburg has not walked anybody tonight.
And usually doesn't walk too many. His control numbers are excellent. It's kind of a veteran battery here with Strasburg and Kurt Suzuki. They've both been around.
Comes back, strikes him out on the changeup.
Number 6.
Not afraid to go off speed on 3-2.
You can see that wide open grip. You can throw that ball as hard as you want. It just can't go fast. And that's what lets you use the same arm speed you would use on a fastball. But the grip is such that it doesn't jump out of the hand.
And Moran, you saw where that ball started. Looks like it's going to be about at the knees. If you take it, it's a strike. If it's a fastball. That changeup dipping out of the zone. Osuna in his first game back after completing that 5-game suspension, stemming from the brawl with the Reds, who coincidentally come to town on Friday.
And it's usually quite interesting. So come on out.
Hopefully that's all now done with.
Never know.
Everybody, just about everybody was suspended or fined, it seemed like. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. That was when the benches emptied and there was arms and elbows, and McCullough completed his 10-game suspension. Well, looks like maybe just a little bit of that command starting to wobble now for Strasburg. First time all night where it's looked maybe just not quite as sharp.
91 pitches delivered. There's the breakdown.
Throwing 3 balls on back-to-back hitters. When you were in this stage of the game, did you have to pitch a little differently? Maybe as fatigue starts to set in some?
I tried not to. Because if you're at this point in the game, you're probably pretty successful. So you want to just run that out as far as you can. You see the breaking ball, see the spin.
And that is the first walk.
Cracking the foundation.
A 2-out base runner, and that's headline news, the way that Strasburg has pitched tonight. Well, Dave Martinez had his spot come up last inning for Strasburg, so can just kind of go with what he wants to do here. It looks like he's starting to think about that. I guess they think about this stuff well in advance. Always a few batters ahead. Strasburg completes 7 scoreless. Yeah, the Nationals have a 1-0 lead. Powered by a pitch out. His hardest throw of the season. Throwing 86. A windup. Catchers have good arms, don't they?
Yep. And if they get some help from their pitchers, they can make it work. And in that case, the taggers. Great tag by Newman on the bounce throw to second.
And so on his first outing after being activated, threw just 7 pitches last inning, so the Pirates will at least start this inning with Rodriguez.
Yeah, and that includes a strikeout. That takes 3 of them.
He has pitched as many as 2 complete innings once this year. It's back in May. On a night when your starter goes 1 inning, you got to make do. Chris Archer leaving the game with right shoulder discomfort, throwing his warm-up tosses in the 2nd inning. Holmes went 3 2/3. An inherited runner at first base was brought along to score with 2 outs, assessed to him. Feliz credited with an inning and a 3rd scoreless, and now Rodriguez into his 2nd inning of relief, put up that 1-2-3 7th inning. So really yeoman's work done by the Pirates bullpen tonight. But Strasburg just that much better. Both teams with just 4 hits. Make it 5 as Rendon has been on base all 4 times tonight.
That certainly doesn't hurt his .317 batting average coming into the game.
Wander Suero is up. Yeah, I would think that's probably going to be it for Strasburg tonight. Started to just look like he was licking oil just a little bit there. Now remember, the Nationals pen is without their closer, Sean Doolittle, who hit the injured list on Sunday. So to protect a narrow lead, they will have to try to patch that together. Now they do have a couple of guys with some experience who are active. Nobody with more experience than Fernando Rodney, the oldest player in baseball, and more than 300 career saves. So they got a couple of options down there.
300 saves in a crooked hat.
Has been for most of his career. An homage to his father.
You can always tell that it's Fernando.
The high heat.
The Rodriguez signature.
Look on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Soto coming in over 9 games, 7 homers, hitting over 400 tonight. 0 for 3. Thought about it.
And then thought better of it.
Out to Reynolds and left. That's the first out. And Felipe Vasquez getting up as the Pirates are fairly short-handed all of a sudden with Williams going 2 innings yesterday, Archer an inning today. I was telling you earlier that you'd probably see Vasquez no matter what, considering the usage of Pirates bullpen the last few days. Down the line.
A long, successful trip.
And Rodriguez's second longest outing of the year, needing just 18 pitches to navigate these waters. And so that's going to be it for Rodriguez. They won't ask him to go a complete 2. With the lefty hitting Matt Adams coming up, the Pirates will make a double switch. Take out the slugger Osuna.
Milky goes out to right.
1-0 Nationals. Yeah, the former National coming on. Market regular season game live or on demand with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to stream live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
The big left-hander coming on to work in his 46th game. 22 of 24 saves and opportunities, but right now just trying to save the top of the 8th.
Yeah, the Pirates have not had many narrow late leads, and so also with the another short outing from the Pirates starter. Vasquez the most rested. And a strategy I like, down a run. Sometimes you want to use a guy that is used to protecting a lead if he's very well rested. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, the next day. Yeah, maybe there's a save opportunity. Maybe there isn't one for a while, which we've seen. So use them here, left on left. Try to erase Adams. See if your bats can tie it or take a lead in the bottom half.
I think hopefully you can put on that little decorative crown of 4 strikeouts and 4 attempts, 4 at bats.
Adams coming in a scintillating stretch too, but Holmes and Feliz have combined to strike him out those first 3 times. And still had 2 strikes. Despite that Tony Kemp triple the other day against Vasquez, still over 3 seasons combined, the lowest slugging percentage allowed to left-handed batters in all of baseball. They don't get hits very often, and when they do, it ain't much. This year they got about a coin flip chance of striking out against him. He struck out 42% of lefties that he's faced. And that's going to go up. 100 from Vasquez. Adams gone for the 4th time on strikes tonight. Look at this one on the Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl. 1-0 Washington. Former national Felipe Vasquez getting the final out. Keeping this in a 1-run game.
Yep. Suero wandering in from the Nats bullpen.
Stallings, Cabrera, and Frazier. Against Wander Suero.
54 innings, 65 strikeouts. Operative numbers. 58th appearance, 4 home runs. Another operative number, hopefully. Highlight.
Base hit for Stallings.
It's a start. We only need a point to get even. By the way, Strasburg 7 scoreless, 4 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts. But the Pirates action here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They don't need much, but they need something.
And Stallings out. Stephen Brault will pinch run with the potential tying run. Yeah, the Pirates double switching last inning with 2 outs in the top half of the inning to put Melky Cabrera in this spot. The veteran.
Good stop by Suzuki. 1-run ball game, 8th inning.
Melky 5 for his last 48. 56 hits shy of 2,000 in his career. Just need 1 right here.
Very, very close at first base. They'll take a minute and let Brault adjust his heart rate.
Try to dirty up Thursday's starting pitcher.
Very colorful arms.
Futuristic, he says.
I think they're scales. It'd be a skin condition.
Well, maybe we should weigh that and figure out what we think about it.
Decorative.
Yeah.
I'll stay with decorative. That'll work. Had a cross-up?
Yeah, it might have been.
No conference after, so Sure. Got a veteran back there. Just under the glove.
Yeah, he has 5 pass balls to Suzuki, so that'll be a wild pitch, but I think Suzuki would probably tell you he should have had that.
Yep. So a lot of other people. That's big. You get Melky to pull the ball.
He's been such a good situational hitter this year. At the very least, if hit it on the ground on that right side, he can move Brault to third with 1 out. A fly ball can tie it.
Or make sure he gets a strike. He could wind up with runners on first and second.
Yeah.
Nobody out. Bunt him over, base hit, 2 runs, get him out in the 9th, go home.
I like it. Now full count. Suero letting it rip.
Cutter, slider.
Cross movement. That's a fastball. That's how much that moves.
Cut fastball then.
Yeah. That one too much movement.
Action.
2 on and nobody out. Down a run here in the 8th. Remember, no Sean Doolittle, so the Nationals kind of jumbling up their late innings. Dave Martinez
not happy with that free pass. Now Frazier will look at Joey Cora. See what the Pirates have in mind here. Down a run in the 8th. The Nationals trying to figure out what they want to do defensively. Rendon on the grass. See if Frazier's going to try to push a bunt down that way.
The fastball moves so much across the entire zone right there. And Paul Menhart will come out and talk to Suero.
So.
And you kind of, and I'm oversimplifying this, but you're kind of picking names out of a hat here. Okay, who are we going to use tonight? We're going to try this or that. Daniel Hudson, the ex-Pirate, came over from Toronto.
Who's been doing a good job for them. Really struggled here with the Pirates.
Yeah, both with Toronto and especially here. Yeah, his numbers have even ticked up. So guys with some late inning experience, but just out of the safety net a little bit. So trying to piece it together.
Now the Nationals have their corners in. Rendon, Adams, crashing. Wheel play as the shortstop comes over to wind up in back of Rendon in case a bunt goes sharply to him. Watch the shortstop. He's taken off. He's at third base in case they bunt the hard ball at Rendon. They can still get a force at third base. The wheel play. You don't see as much of it as we used to. Here he comes again.
In the air.
Perfect, perfect, wow. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Nowhere to go. And they're loaded.
Yep. And you hold your breath because the bunt was up in the air, but the pitcher was not able to get to it. First baseman, no man's land, really. Here you go. Right and no, past first baseman is already committed too early. He's inside. The second baseman is heading over to first. Past the pitcher, in between the pitcher and the first. I mean, it can't be any more perfect.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
So Stallings with a base hit. Brault pinch running, advancing on a wild pitch, a walk, a bunt hit, and Suero is gone.
He's wandering into the dugout.
And Daniel Hudson, the ex-Pirate, comes on, inheriting the bases loaded and nobody out, with the Bucks down a run. It's the 5th inning, and this, well, it's got a lot tighter thanks to that bunt by Adam Frazier. Full of buckos.
Yep. Stephen Brault resting comfortably at third base. Daniel Hudson has picked up his game since leaving the Pirates. Just the well, those are his overall numbers, but with the Nationals, 10 appearances, a 1.08 ERA, but just 8 innings of work, 6 hits. He's walked a batter and struck out. Where am I? 10. So he's done a heck of a job since arriving. Brief amount of work.
Brian Reynolds at the plate. Out to center. How deep? Robles, 11 assists out there. They'll test it. And Brault will score. It's deep enough, and the Pirates have knotted it here in the 8th.
Still in business.
Brian Reynolds gets the job done. First pitch ready to hit the fastball. Brault, Thursday's starting pitcher. Tags, it was deep enough. Robles, 11 outfield assists. Got a good arm out there, of course, but too deep.
Just a little old cheap base hit here, Starling. Something cheap and tawdry.
Cabrera is the lead runner at second, and at 35. Still not too bad out there, but a below average runner at this stage.
96-mile-an-hour fastball from Daniel Hudson.
Yeah, always a hard thrower, but was running into some issues with walks with the Pirates back in 2017. Traded to the Rays for Corey Dickerson.
97 miles an hour. How about one of those eat up the catcher curveballs now, trying to get him to chase downstairs that gets to the backstop. Out in front 0-2. Goes upstairs instead of downstairs.
Josh Bell would be next. To right center, and that's just what the Pirates needed. They have come alive with a 3-run home run by Marte.
Long tater to right field. Boy, does that feel good? Does that feel good? In that Pirate dugout and everywhere in this yard, that feels good.
What a year for Starling Marte. 22nd home run. And the Pirates dormant offensively. He has awakened them, giving them their first lead of the night. And the Nationals bullpen very much in disarray, and Shirley right there on display. Two home runs, 73 RBIs now for Marte. And Rendon squeezes the out.
How about this? Looked like a cutter out away, and he just barrels it over the wall in right center field. He's that strong. Talk about a breath of fresh air. I'll tell you, a breath. That is a hurricane of fresh air. Daniel Hudson comes in and gives it up.
Won't be forgetting that anytime soon. Frazier's bunt helping to further the cause. Can't wipe that smile off any of their faces. Now the Pirates entering this inning had scored 1 run, and that was off the bat of Marte. Over their 4 games. And now they score 4 runs in the inning. Remember, Vasquez is in the game. He got the final out in the 8th inning.
You can't say that he can win it.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere now.
No, I expect him to come out tonight.
Well, Marte 22 homers, 22 steals. Perfect symmetry.
And 73 ribbies.
Be bypassed with the option to pinch hit for Vasquez or leave him in, and of course at this stage Felipe is going to get the bat.
And this is good fun for him. This is the stuff he likes.
In play. He's chugging. Oh, he wanted it. But it is the final out. Pirates strike for 4. The 3-run home run by Marte. And the Pirates trying to even the series, stunning the Nationals with a 4-run 8th. The pregame show gets you started at 6:30 tomorrow night. Pirates might be looking for a series lead at that point. For their 4-run comeback here in the 8th inning. A 3-run homer by Marte. This would be the Nationals' 7th loss when leading after 7 this year.
But we need 3 outs to make that happen.
Elias Diaz now in to catch in the 8th spot in the batting order.
Replacing a very happy Jacob Stallings, who got it started in the bottom of the 8th. Well done.
Effort.
Yep. Got it going.
Now Strasburg 7 scoreless innings on 4 singles. And then the Pirates are up for 4 runs in the 8th. And Dave Martinez beside himself.
And Mr. Scherzer there lurking in the background.
Probably going to be the Thursday starter. Atlanta has a large lead late. This would sink the Nationals to 6 games back if that so develops. Cubs are winning in a tight game in the 6th, 4-3. And Vasquez, of course, who was traded from Washington to the Pirates at the deadline in 16, along with Taylor Hearn for Mark Melancon, who is now working in late relief for Atlanta. And Suzuki will put one down. A leadoff single. Vasquez came on with the game 1-0 Washington, so he's trying to win it. This is not a save situation. Reynolds doing a good job cutting it off and getting it in.
Yeah, I don't think Suzuki's going anywhere.
Robles 0 for 2 tonight, has an 8-game hitting streak.
And we've got a chance to win this thing. What we don't need here in the top of the 9th is any drama.
Vasquez coming off his last outing where failed to convert a save opportunity. It was a tall order, of course. And now what was that? Is something
my
wrong?
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Chris Archer has left this game with injury. And now Felipe Vasquez halting the proceedings.
And Pirates trainer just made a step up the steps, but stopped. Brian was heading out there. Now he's going to go out.
Yeah, Clint Hurdle saying, no, let's go and check on our all-star left-hander.
This is hard to believe. This is really hard to believe.
And this is a guy that takes the ball all the time. There is no quit in Vasquez. So if he's even pausing for a moment,
he's kidding. He's having some fun with Brian. Had that smile on his face. Yeah.
nothing really gets him too worked up.
Okay.
So whatever it is, it
sends them all back.
That's at least reassuring.
We can breathe again. Just turned his back. You don't think he did anything running hard down to first base, do you?
Well, that's a great point, actually. I mean, think of how many times that he bats.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just a little something trying to beat out that infield grounder. Maybe a little something in the leg. Who knows? But that's a great hypothesis. And knock on every piece of former tree you can find, but in the major leagues, never on the injury list. Just briefly once in the minor leagues 5 years ago.
Coulda, shoulda got a call there, but didn't.
Still throwing hard. Has not pitched since Friday. That was also the last Pirates victory. I want a walk-off winner. Lets it go. 1, 2, a double play.
Oh, is that quite wonderful?
It is hard to double up Robles.
How wonderful is that? Welcome to the 9th inning at Kennywood. On the roller coaster down and then back up.
Well, you know it don't come easy. But they made it look so. Newman to Frazier, on to Bell, erasing the leadoff hit. And now Vasquez will have to get through Howie Kendrick, one of the leading pinch hitters this year, the veteran. Pirates lead by 3 after that 4-run 8th. .407 with 11 pinch hits.
That's nothing compared to our guys, right? We got the crew of pinch hitters.
.99.
He appears to be recovering from whatever it was. What if it was a great bluff? Putting them, oh, he might be hurt out there. That would be an all-timer. I don't believe he's capable of doing that. I think he's very businesslike in terms of his approach to what he needs to do.
All business now with 2 outs in the 9th. Behind on Kendrick. Slammed out to center. Marte back. What a catch! He puts him ahead with the home run and then ends the game with a catch like that.
It's the Marte show.
They named him Starling for a reason. What a play by Marte to end it, and something to feel good about here tonight.
A win for the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about that? Every streak begins and every streak ends.
And Marte with the 3-run home run to put the Pirates ahead in the bottom of the 8th. And then this one was scalded.
Almost exactly where he hit the ball over that fence, right in the same neighborhood. Over the fence and then against the fence. And he brings it down, and the ball game is over.
Poetic. All these years, he thought that was going to be out of here. Wow. All these years from Starling Marte. What if, or could he? He is doing. And he is doing it with an exclamation point all throughout this season. Vasquez is the winner. The Pirates take it down, and now to take it away, here is Robin Michael.
Well, a heart-pounding top of the 9th. First Vasquez with that walk away, and you're hoping, oh my gosh, please, no, not another injury. And then Marte with that grab.
I mean, it was really impressive, especially at the 9th inning. Marte stepping up big time players step up in big time situations, and that's what Marte did right there. I mean, you looked at the odds today. Chris Archer coming out of this game early, getting to the bullpen. The bullpen had to take a huge workload yesterday. They all stepped up. It was just a great game.
The man who caught most of it and who started that rally in the bottom of the 8th, Jacob Stallings, is with Dan Potash.
All right, guys, thank you very much. So what's it like knowing that you're taking the field against a team that is scoring runs at will, but you shut them down and hold them to just 1 tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate that Arch had to come out, but, I mean, Clay came in and gave us huge innings, and then the rest of the guys were great. So, testament to them being ready, but they were outstanding.
You talked about Clay coming in cold, if you will, finding out which guy could jump up out of the bullpen. How difficult is that for a pitcher? And also, was his most effective pitch his slider tonight?
He pretty much had all 3 pitches working, to be honest with you, his sinker, his slider, and his curveball. Yeah, I mean, he threw two innings in Williamsport the other day and comes back and throws, 3 2/3. So he was phenomenal, and I mean, just a great performance by him.
You also have to give credit to Steven Strasburg and what he was able to do. Was the thought here, hey, if you guys could get to the bullpen, that maybe you could get some runs going, because it was your hit in the 8th inning that kind of got this offense going?
Yeah, well, I'm glad he came out of the game. He is and was awesome. So, you know, we hung in there. Pitchers did a great job keeping us in the game, and obviously Marte had the huge hit, and just a great team win.
His catch wasn't bad either, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty talented.
Jacob, thank you very much. Jacob Stallings and the Buccos victorious tonight. We'll see you guys back here again tomorrow. Gentlemen, take it away.
Dan, thanks very much. And just like we promised earlier in the game, it's our Miller Lite Hold True moment, and it's moments, because Starling Marte in the bottom of the 8th, the homer, in the top of the 9th, the catch.
He loves hitting homers late in the ball game. I mean, you got to remember, this was a 2-strike pitch. You know, Hudson comes in, he's throwing a little bit of fuel. Marte doesn't get the pitch he's looking for. He gets down in the count and then gets a ball that's just running back over the plate and smashes it. I mean, I think he's got the most right-handed power of anybody with the Pirates over the last probably 10 or so years, besides Andrew McCutchen. I mean, it's just so impressive how he can stay inside the ball, be so strong. And then this. Okay, we're just talking about how he found the wall about 3 steps before he actually made that jump. He looked at the wall and then was able to come back and find the ball. That's just a credit to how talented this guy is. He's got all the tools in the world. He's showing that ability more and more. This is a special year for Starling Marte.
He is having an excellent season. 22nd home run to go with his 22 stolen bases, a .505 slugging, .291 average. He's doing it all, and the Pirates get a much, much needed win. 4-1 is the final. They come back late after Steven Strasburg was dominating. More on Starling Marte's big night. Some potential bad news. We don't know the status of Chris Archer yet. We hope to get an update for you in the post-game show. Also, we'll look at the bullpen. What a tremendous job they did. Highlights from around the league as well. All that and more coming up next on Pirates Post-Game, presented by the Allegheny Health Network.